Yo, check this out. This is Wayne Wonder, representing for Warrior LTV. You see the vision, don't it? See the vision. Warrior LTV. Keep it locked.
I'm gonna tell you. We as bloggers, these are the issues that we need to address. You understand what I said? Set the bar for the youth. Share, like, and subscribe and stay tuned to the channel. I don't know all this.
Something alright? Something alright, yeah?
Yes, I. Brothers and sisters, once again, greetings in the mighty name of His Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie I, and all things good and wonderful amongst us and about us. Welcome, viewers and subscribers. Viewers, if you like the content, subscribe and make sure you grow the platform. Like the video if it makes sense to you. You see it. Now, a lot of people come in. Well, I wouldn't say a lot of people, but a few people come in the section. I know people who might kind of observe the same thing, but reserve them argument based on them wider understanding where the channel I go. See? And the argument is, why am I so, passive towards the gunman them and the violence enabler them in a Jamaica society of today? Is because from my experience and observation, there are three other entities in Jamaica who's vastly more responsible. You have the entertainer them, you have the politician, and you have the academics. See? Now, from the gunman perspective, based on a level of experience, I'm going to now show you a thing. See? More you try and observe it, regardless of how emotionally connected you might be or emotionally affected you might have been. Seen? You see the gunman them, it becomes like a first priority in terms of access to certain resource, seeing certain protection, certain security. It's called ghetto privilege. You see, find say when you join up or when you align yourself certain way, you might have first priority to the best looking sufferer girl them, sometimes uptown girls too. See, you might have first priority to whatever scarce benefits and spoils said politician them provide. See, and more than anything else, you are prioritized by the academics because you yourself is a tool and a weapon to them, to their benefits. See, the entertainer as well, you create substance, you create content for the entertainer them. See, so it benefit the ones them who have more responsibility in my mind to take care of or balance the situation more than anybody else. See? And from that aspect, you might can understand what I deal with when I'm so-called merciful upon the gunman them. See? I reserve. See? Because the gunman them now have no hopes. Them have less hopes than anybody else out of the three main people who I point out. See, them a ghetto youth, them come from nothing, them not used to nothing, and them prepare their mind, as we can all observe, say, them not expect anything if reach nowhere amount to anything. See, most of them are die at an early age, as you can see, and them is aware of that. See, me myself, when me was like 23-year-old, my biggest concern was how my mother go bury me. See, that was my biggest concern. Can you imagine that for a young man? Now, we're going to touch on the politician them first, before we touch the entertainer and then the academics last. See, you see the politician them benefit because, so for instance now, if there wasn't crime wasn't on the scale right there. When you observe the technicality, when you observe the scientific manifestation of what I say. If it wasn't for the gunman them and them a do what them a do, and I upstore the head of the people them, and I give them cause for concern where them safety is concerned, the survival, the development and upliftment of them communities concerned, yeah, the same people them would hold the government to consequence for the development, for them security, and for them sort of things there. You know, see, you'd find say education would have been more demanded from the people them. See, you'd find say health care would have been more demanded. Government education would have been more observed and looked into with more intricacy by the same ghetto people them, because they would have time, frame of mind, where them can sit back and wonder why certain things is impossible, while the economy is on a certain level, while there is certain loans and things like that, where the money are go. Is there that where yes, some serious millions US Jamaica have as insurance certain way. You know, see, it might not be open or prevalent for or permitted for them spend at will, but I mean, a thing like education, who would want to deny a country like Jamaica the ability or the access to education? No country, no way. You get what I say? We wonder why our government no invest more in this aspect of the society. You know, see, in respect of how it benefit or where it benefit ghetto youth or the poorer class of people. You know, see, health care is another thing again. See, we observe, say, a lot of the hospital them, and in regards to accountability, you know, the ones them who is at the helm of things aren't being held to any form of accountability regarding these things, because at the end of the day, them themselves, you know, more than likely, aside from money from the thing, it's obvious. At the end of the day, we have millions of dollars, must 50 odd millions disappear from the Ministry of Health and things like that. And the vigor with which these things should be investigated, I looked at, is not being even in question. And this is as a result of how the gunman them are going out, they will keep the majority, the mind, you know, I say the bulk of the people them distracted, so that them themselves can demand accountability for these things. So these things go, you know, like quiet. You know, I say, because the people are focused on the the whole heap of killing we are going around them, and how it's a prevalent, and I wonder if a politician responsible for it. What if me talk about them thing, would gunman come take off my door and take me out, politician send him, corrupt politician, because it's all corruption. And why if them, I mean, for protect $40 million, what is it for buy a box food, give a youth, or give some youth, to come quiet, somebody who has stir up discontent where with them interests. You know, see, sad as it sounds, that's how we have to look on it. See, why shouldn't we? You get what I say? See? So when all of them things create a level of a distraction, seen both by the gunman, and it benefit the politician them who rob and cipher certain finance from poor people. You know, see, All right now. If we go to the book now and observe other areas of ministries, you know, it's like endemic to the destruction of Jamaica. This is where the major fraud, the major scamming, and them sort of thing there happen. And the people who for ask and demand consequence don't even know, say, them have legal discourse by which to ask these questions. See? All right. Make we observe the entertainer them now. The entertainer them and yam food. All of them licky. It's me can't really see none where I defend anything beneficial to the people. See, at Christmas now, Buju Banton as a Rasta man have what him call Santa Claus type goods a sell on him web store. You know, there is no conscious focus to black development, black culture, or whatever from him. It's evident because from you gone in a Santa Claus business there, so with Jamaican and ghetto people at this point in time, where we there with regards to the thing them I just outline. You should say a guy low, a guy careless, a guy is thoughtless, you know, a guy is in it for whatever profit and benefit him can gain from it. And it's not just him alone. This is Sizzler the other day, a kick off big time on social media regarding a little incident between him and the one when name DJ Khaled. And when you look back on it, you'll observe, say, I wonder if Sizzler find out, say, is them guy a opportunist, or find out, say, them guy a motivation regarding the music is not like-minded to it. They're not on the same wavelength in terms of development of the music, promotion of the music, and what the music mean to poor people or to people in general, black people in general. So he might cut ties with this guy. You see, when you listen to for the reasoning them with them and give, it don't make sense. It can't hold water. See, because there is so many legal, you know, avenues where you could have challenged all of them so-called claims there where a guy make pan. That's it just beyond reason. With film reaction is beyond reason whatsoever. It's ignorant, wrath with ignorance. And then when you look on it now and observe the platform where them guys put themselves on in terms of Rastafari, in terms of black struggle and all of them sort of thing there. And at them where they are react over some things like that. It's undiplomatic. It's unbecoming any leader whatsoever in any category. Worse, Rastafari. And movements where promote, develop, and, you know, aspire to see the betterment of the whole entire black race, not just Jamaican, not just Rasta. You know, see, you have to wonder, is what kind of promotional stunt, publicity stunt, them guys are depend, because that's all what it pan out to be in the long run when we observe it, Rasta. You know, see, when you look on the little dancehall DJ them, the woman them, the man them, and the type of aspiration where them have. Seeing, you see them devalue, downgrade them own. Nobody now really put much effort into undervaluing them anymore. Them themselves accept being less than they are, than they really are in the eyes of the market. You know, see it? Them act like, say, well, then, them hungry more than anybody else. Them act like, say, them adaptive more than anybody else. Is where any and every no standard no dead. Them not set no standard. Them not maintain no standard. You know, see, which is the modus of operandi from day one regarding the culture. You know, see, we stand out different from everybody else, regardless of what people want to do or go on. We ourselves always have our own standard where we aspire to, where we drive and maintain. You get what I say? No, woman, them more than all are supposed to be the mother of the generation, the mother of the nation. Them themselves low. You know, see, as foreign artists with a different mentality, them it's like them impressed by and you know me I say, I aim for please and all them sort of thing there. It's unacceptable, totally unacceptable. And when we observe it, you know, we see say the responsibility criteria is lacking very much. Everybody unite for just them a food and me don't know where them a try. See, when them go do up them body with some little backdoor surgeon and them sort of thing there where a couple of them are dead off or end up with some out of shape figure and thing like that where them can't claim back no form of compensation for body job and all them sort of thing there. You know, them it's like them accept, it's like them think nobody else never experienced sexuality before. This is the only type of thing where them promote in them song. You know? Like nobody never like and them introduce sex to the world. Yeah, it's that totally what I want, you know, the female genre dancehall and them type of thing there. You know, see, if them now bring down them man or make man in general look like say them unworthy of them presence. If them now make it look like say it's them body them bring to the table alone, nothing else, just them body. And you supposed to bring everything else where it take for create or sustain a formidable relationship and them sort of sitting there. You know see? Now, with the academics them now, them are the worst of the bunch. A lot of them come from the ghetto. A vast majority of them come from the ghetto amongst I and I. Enough come from the ghetto amongst I and I who's supposed to go out there, use the opportunity where them get to make representation upon I and I behalf. See? Now, with a whole heap of them miscarriage of justice we are going, a lot of them is trained professional in the law fraternity. See? With the denial of human rights and issues like these, a lot of them is versatile in that respect as well. You know, see, none of them are making no representation upon either behalf. See? Majority of the thing, all of the ministry them where the minister them, the government inner and thing like that, all of the academics in Jamaica are more versatile in that field than a lot of these ministers. You know, see, Christopherton and his son start a importation, a company. Them registered as a construction company, then suddenly turn in an importation company. You know, see, now them import some inferior rice and the wharf clamp down upon it. See? And suddenly the rice released to the public as the same grade of rice that it was imported as. You get what I say? And all of a sudden, Christopherton is no longer aligned with the company. Nobody don't know anything about this thing. Everybody blame the government as victim. Them blame the government, so the government victimize them. Start say other companies do the same thing too. And things like that. Now, when things like this are going up on a scale like that, the only people suffer is the consumer, which is mainly poor people. See? Now, the academics again, they are versatile. You know what I say? Well learned in these areas. Yet, you know, none of them make any form of representation regarding poor people. Why? They will benefit from the ignorance as well. And all them are just sit one side and open for them opportunity where them can rob, scam, fraud, and cipher off of the same poor people them. You see, it's like there's no intention of growth and development for Jamaica and Jamaica people. It's all a hustle. These are the things that concern us most. You know, see, a lot of time, the Prime Minister, the Minister, them and all of them, all them not have one of the graduates from up at UWI who specialize in finance, health, agriculture, national security, matters of these that concern us mostly, economics in general. How them not have these people I work side of them as advisors or whatever, assistants? How them not have these people I work amongst them? And why do these people just sit back and allow these things to happen to them? It's like they are taking bribes or getting bribes for maintain the status quo of deprivation we are going in Jamaica, Rasta. The depraved entertainment, the depraved politics, and the depraved depravity, the depraved mentality of the academics. It's like all a scam. Seeing everybody just sit back and watch. But more so than anybody else is the academics. These are the ones who should be a neutral society, a neutral group where observe certain things and represent poor people, like be the guiding line, the guiding light. And the main reason for that is because them more than anybody else know the struggle what it take for get education, for educate oneself to the point where them can make certain representation for themselves. They themselves know what it take for secure the country to a certain degree, and them just like myself, where I just grade 7 graduate from, know say better can be done. Them know a lot better can be done. Yet still none of them no question the motives, the intent, the actions of the so-called members of authority who are failing, no doubt. Highly failing, strongly failing. See, everybody would have sit back and blame anybody else. The entertainer them deny responsibility, say them have any influence on society. And over time we see and know a lot of times, look on Bob Marley influenced the world. Why isn't our Jamaican observing their level of responsibility in terms of influence on the youth them? Let's say you don't think you have any. Why not? Why not? Is it because you're not creating the content that would have influenced the youth positively? Is it because you're creating pure negative contents and want showing a level of responsibility while you deny having any? See? What if you was creating positive contents, lyrics and things like that, and you was the youths were moving in a positive light, singing certain songs and them way to a trade and them way to a job, giving them hopes of a brighter future, a better tomorrow and things like that? Wouldn't you be claiming the rewards for all of that? Wouldn't you be claiming responsibility for that? Which I am sure you would have. See, leave out the politician them out of that one here, out of the summary, because them are just thief. That I for them some thief. Plain and simple, gravelicious, corrupt, dog-minded thief. See? The academics is more disappointing than all. See? More disappointing than all. That I for them summary. We don't know what else to really say about them except how ungrateful, like a dog's to its vomit. That's what the academics are in Jamaica today. And there is no apology regarding that. See, there is no consequence for anybody, any criminal whatsoever, because criminals are not only the little gunman them on the street side. The bigger criminal are the one them we are create. There's some serious corruption and a cipher and a rob money from the economy, the already struggling economy, openly and obviously in front of all our and not answering any form of consequence fee because people like yourself is not asking for any. You are the most disgraceful of all. Yeah. And that me have to say. I'm give thanks. Rastafari.